Hi guys, my name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome old subscribers, welcome new. If you like my videos, please press the like button and please do subscribe. Thank you for your support. Alexa, what's the time please?
It's 6:25 p.m.
Right guys, I've been around my mum's most of the day. A taxi picked me up at 11:30 this morning and took me up to my mum's. My mum had asked me if I'd like to go around there and spend some time with her, and she said that she got me some few things for Easter, which I was very grateful for. Sometimes when you're on your own it gets monotonous, boring, upsetting, and I'm not the only one. I've seen some things on YouTube today which has made me realise it's not only myself that feels like it, other people do too. So I went round my mum's. Very nice taxi driver picked me up and took me up to my mum's, and I spent some time with my mum. My mum and I just chatted. It was very, very quiet. It was very, very normal. It was very, very pleasant to get a break from what feels like sometimes prison. I've got everything I want and everything I need, but I feel locked away, as I have done with most of the places that I've lived in. They feel like it's locked in prison, away from everybody, and I have low self-esteem anyway, and so it's hard for me sometimes to try and get out and communicate with people, because it's just the way I am. I'm introverted, and I think I'm always in the wrong, and I always apologise. So if someone bumps into me, I'm the first one to say sorry, and I've always been like that, even at school. So my mum told me that I could put the TV on, and I put the telly on, and I watched episodes of things leading up to the coronation, and Tesco's has got King Charles III's coronation stuff. Tesco's has. I don't really shop at, so I'll have a look online if you can buy coronation stuff online, because the nearest Tesco's to me is Charles Street, Strood, and I don't drive, so it's not a place that I would go on foot. So there was someone walking around Tesco's showing all the coronation stuff that they'd got in stock. I watched videos about what's going to happen at Charles's coronation, what things are going to happen, coronations through other kings and queens through the years, and that was interesting, how the coronation started and several kings and queens' coronation. A nice lady talking you all the way through different kings and queens' coronations. Then my mum said, would you like to order a takeaway? And I said, Mum, you don't have to, because I've seen my mum Tuesday. And she gave me a pen and some paper, and I order food from Super Pizza because I like it. It's very clean food, it's very fresh, it tastes nice, and they always wrap it up well, and it's nice. So I got some mini chocolate donuts from Super Pizza. Mini chocolate donuts. And they look like that, don't they? So I've had some food. Mini chocolate donuts. These are some of the onion rings that are left. The onion rings, and I didn't have a chicken burger this time. I just had some onion rings and some curly fries and some chicken bites. So I've had about 3 or 4 chicken bites. I've got some coleslaw, and I've got a bottle of mineral water and some Ribena. I don't want to eat a huge pizza or a great big burger. I'm quite happy with what I've had. My mum gave me some yuzu drinks to drink. She did offer me tea and coffee, but I declined because I have a certain coffee that I like and I stick to. And so we waited for the takeaway guy to come. It was a different takeaway guy. It was a foreign takeaway guy. And my mum had 5 watches on one arm, 5 watches, and 2 on the other, I think, approximately. I don't know why my mum is wearing 7 watches on 2 arms. I don't know. I know Princess Diana used to wear more than 1 watch, because I've read about Princess Di, her habits, what she did and what she liked. And I'm sure I've read somewhere that Princess Diana wore more than 1 watch on her arm. So my mum opens the door to the bearded, black-haired takeaway driver, and he says nice watches to my mother. My mother is wearing jeans rolled up at the bottom, a low-cut top, she's got grey hair, and she's all jingly-jangly with jewellery. Me, I've got no jewellery on today, no watches, I don't really wear watches, and I don't turn the bottoms up of my jeans. I do, however, have a pair of shorts that I bought from upstairs in the pound shop, Strood, which had rolled up bottoms. But that's because I was looking for a pair of shorts, and that's the only real decent ones I could find. So the takeaway, my mum says to me, Ginestra, come and get your takeaway. And I see the takeaway driver is a different one from the one before, a different one from the one Tuesday. Take the takeaway in, sit down, open it up, eat it, and then I have a look on my dad's Amazon Fire Stick, and I see there's some episodes of life in prison, Scottish prison first of all. So Greenock, a prison in Scotland called Greenock Prison, and it's mixed, you've got females and males. And this woman is being checked in, this Scottish woman, and it goes through what you do when you check a prisoner in, what they go through, and how shocked they are. They can't believe that they've actually going to go to prison. This woman was shocked that she'd gone to prison, and she was like shaking and nervous, a lot of the women that have gone in prison have lost their children into foster care and things like that, and she was missing her kids. She was in there for 8 months for assaulting her friend, attacking her friend, and usually it's to do with drugs and drink, because drugs and drink make someone not themselves, they get angry. So she'd actually beaten up her own friend, and she'd got 8 months for it, because she'd had previous convictions, she said, that hadn't resulted in prison, but she'd got off, and she was actually shocked this time that she'd gone to jail. So, and then we saw a guy being checked out of prison. So you saw this woman getting checked in, and then they showed you how you get checked out. So this guy had 24 hours before he had his freedom. So you saw leading up to his freedom. And then I went on to another prison, and these were British prisons, and the violence that goes on in prisons towards female officers by men, male prisoners. And this prison lady got a punctured lung when she was trying to subdue a prisoner who had got high on hooch. He'd got high on hooch. He'd managed to smuggle alcohol in or something. He'd made hooch, and they were smoking weed in cells, and it's family that send the money. So some prisoners get loads and loads and loads of, like, they use their money to get sweets and chocolate and things. So some prisoners get more than others, because you'll have a solitary prisoner that gets hardly anything, and then you'll get a prisoner that's got lots of family, sends him loads of money in, and he's got bags and bags of stuff. So I watched that. I was watching prisons. I and what goes on in prison, and how the guards have to like cope with really, really violent inmates. And the female guard said men don't care about women anymore. They've got no regards for women. They treat women just like they do the male prison guards, and this woman got a punctured lung. I found it shocking, and I just watched that till the end, the prisons, and then my mum's neighbours had gone out for the day, and my mum would have been stuck indoors by herself. They went out for the day in the car. When I came up in the taxi, my mum's neighbours were leaving, and they'd left a note on their door for the Amazon guy. They were expecting an Amazon parcel, but my mum took the parcel in for them, because as I was leaving to get in the taxi to come home, the Amazon delivery guy delivered to my mum's neighbours, and she took their parcel in because they were out. I had a parcel delivered here from the Royal Mail, and it was my compost. They'd left it downstairs in the corridor opposite the lift. I had a bag of compost. So I had 2 plastic bags, a red backpack, and Marks and Spencer's bag. I had 3 bags and a red backpack. I shuffled and opened my mailbox where I discovered there was a takeaway leaflet for Morello's. Took the takeaway leaflet, shuffled through the door, shuffled to the lift, pressed the first floor, and came up in the lift, and I absolutely saw nobody. I saw nobody at all. Not one person. I didn't see one person at all. The taxi dropped me off outside the flats. The large lady on the end was vaping and drinking wine. And she had family members round, so she was puffing on a vape pipe and drinking a glass of wine as I came into my flats with all those bags. I'd been watching the news before I left about how vaping can be dangerous to children and young people, and its attractive packaging is attracting younger smokers, and we don't know if it's going to, what the side effects are going to be for many years ahead. But this ginger-haired lad, bright ginger, was talking to somebody about the effects of vaping on younger people, and the packaging is aimed at younger people with unicorns, and the flavours and the pretty packaging is aimed at younger people. And then I come home to the big lady on the corner smoking a vape pipe and drinking a glass of wine. And I don't drink and I don't smoke, and I certainly don't vape. I don't use a vape pipe, I don't smoke, I don't drink, and I don't take drugs. So I'm inside my flat. I've got to take my lovely dog for a walk, and I've seen my mum today. My mum. So I've spoken to someone. I haven't been isolated. My mum would have been left alone because her neighbours went out, and she said they usually go out for a nice lunch or a dinner. And my mum's left indoors, just like I am. People go out and I'm left indoors, so it happens to my mum as well. Since my dad's passed away, that's our life, I'm afraid. And yeah, I was glad to get out of here, because sometimes it feels like prison. You're shut in, locked behind loads and loads of doors, and if you're on your own, there's nobody to talk to, is there? So it just feels like you're shut up in prison. But I've got more space. Admittedly, there's more space. I've got a big bathroom, fairly big bedroom, and a living room combined with kitchen, and a balcony to sit on where I can do my plants, etc. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, when you don't speak to someone, and sometimes you don't speak to someone for 2 weeks, it can feel like prison. Isolating. And when you feel bad about yourself and a bit insecure, you can lock yourself in your own prison. So that's what happens to me when I feel people are taking the piss and being cruel and nasty. I don't feel like leaving my flat, and I isolate myself. I know what's happening. I just need to not worry about what other people think of me. And it's difficult. It's difficult. Believe you me, I've tried, to say, oh, fuck it, I'm going to go out. I don't care what people think. Right? So I've got to learn. I've got to learn to say fuck it. And go outside and not give a damn what other people think. It's hard for me. So I'm going to just finish off my coffee, finish off my donuts. Thankfully for me, I've got Max. You can have all the money in the world. You can have all the glamorous, glorious possessions. But as some celebrities have found out fatally, you can be so fucking lonely. You can have all the money, everything, and you can die by yourself. And that's the way it is. People get jealous, friends leave, come and go. People that you think loved you stab you in the back. It's very, very difficult. Very difficult life is. It's a journey, and you don't come back from it. And when George Michael died, I couldn't believe it. Died at Christmas on his own. This is what happens. With fame and fortune comes a price. And there's a big drop from the top, isn't there? The ones that get to the top have got to try and stay up there. And it's hard. And drugs and drink are there for the taking, aren't they? When you've got so much money you can burn. Money doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything to me at all. And neither do possessions. I'd be happy with someone's company for 5 minutes rather than all the money in the world and the tea in China. I mean, that's me. I'd rather have a chat and cheer someone up than someone throwing money at me. See you later.